Upputhara, the first settlement village of Idukki, nestled beneath Mullaperiyar. Upputhara is a village located off the Kuttikkanam Highway, accessible via the Parappu Upputhara Road. It holds historical significance as the first ever migrant settlement in the Idukki district of Kerala. This quiet village lies in the valley region just below the famous Mullaperiyar Dam. What you see today as Upputhara city evolved from modest beginnings. There's a belief that the name Upputhara originated from a freshwater pond with slightly salty tasting water that once existed in an area called Kuttikkanam within the village. Administratively, Upputhara falls under the Kattappana Block Panchayat and is located in the Peermade Taluk in the southern part of Idukki district. The village shares natural boundaries with the Periyar River to the east, the Meenmuttimala Lake to the west, the Chinnar and Karintharuvi Rivers to the south, and the Kakkiyathodu Protected Forests to the north. It lies close to the Kerala-Tamil Nadu border, nestled within the biodiverse region of the Western Ghats. Upputhara holds a special place in the history of Kerala's high-range settlements. It was one of the earliest centers for agricultural migration. In 1910, a group of 7 Christian families migrated from Meenmuttimala Taluk in Kattappana district, after obtaining a license from the Travancore government to set up tea plantations. They settled in Upputhara, a region the Travancore king had leased to the British for plantation development. Later in 1918, more families including the Puthai, Balamel, Kanatkalil, and Parappu families moved into the area. While the British left large tracts of land uncultivated, these settlers began to farm it themselves, slowly turning the wilderness into arable land. However, life in the high ranges was far from easy. Harsh weather, fear of wild animals, and the challenges of an unknown land led many families to return home. Yet, some stayed and endured. The true expansion beyond the main plantation zones only began in the mid-1930s, when settlers started cultivating food crops outside the tea estates. This wave of migration was largely driven by a land policy of the Travancore government, which aimed to provide land titles to settlers cultivating previously uninhabited lands. A major influx of migrants into Upputhara and surrounding areas occurred during the 1950s. The settlers who arrived after the 1930s focused mainly on cultivating crops like coffee, black pepper, and various tubers. Tea plantations were confined mostly to large estates. In the 1950s, Upputhara had limited agricultural diversity, but by the 1990s, farming practices had significantly diversified, with a broader variety of crops being cultivated. Today, Upputhara frequently finds itself in the news due to recurring tremors and minor earthquakes in the region. These seismic events have raised fears among the local population, especially concerning the aging and fragile Mullaperiyar Dam. If the dam were ever to fail, the consequences would be devastating. Over 1,000 homes in Upputhara are projected to be among the first to be swept away.